Hello, beautiful people. Hey, look, before I start this session, I have a big announcement to make. And, the documentary that's been in the works for a long time about my son Eric's life, it's almost finished. But in order to get to that finish line, the director producer Paola Marino needs some help. So she needs funds to cover all the professional fees that will be involved to bring the story to the screen. Like a professional story editor, a music composer, a sound mixer, an illustrator, animator, etc., etc. Now, Paola created a crowdfunding page where you can donate whatever you feel comfortable donating. You can also donate by purchasing a 30-minute session with one of our mediums, or by purchasing an item from the Erik merchandise store, like the one I'm wearing. Saving the world, one prank at a time. It's an embroidered image, so it's really nice. So anyway, go visit channelingericdoc.com and take a look at it. This project is very near and dear to my heart. And one of my greatest wishes is to get the story out to more people so we can help more people. And I want you to go and see the trailer that's on the channelingericdoc.com. It's so moving. It's so powerful. It was my first reaction. It was a gut punch. But it says it all. So look at the trailer and let me know what you think. Thank you, guys. Hello, beautiful people. Look who we have here again. Ginger Bailey. Information on the screen and down below. And she has come back to be punished again by doing part 3 of the head of Satanism. It takes a lot of courage to do that, right? Anton LaVey. And thank you, Anton LaVey, for coming back. And thank you, my son on the other side, for helping protect her and to moderate, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He said, hi, Mom, I love you.
Love you.
Anton is not, he's dressed a little different this time. He's more casual, like it seems more casual than last time.
Okay.
He's got like a reddish, it's like red and black mixed together, like kind of like just a casual cotton shirt, and then just like some dark jeans on.
Don't tell me he has cowboy boots on, please.
They're black boots. He's got black boots on. Yeah, black boot. They look like cowboy boots, but they're just like not brown or like they aren't pointy. They're a little more rounded, but he's just kind of sitting there. He's got like his hands like just sitting in his lap, and he says, I'm ready to go. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome and thank you. So just
he does.
you guys didn't watch part 1 and part 2, which I would like you to do. Anton LaVey is the founder of the Church of Satan, the philosophy of LaVeyan Satanism, and the concept of Satanism.
Yes. Something I want to say, this is me saying it, Ginger. There's been like some questions and I just want to clear something up really quick. When I look over, this is for people watching, when I look over this way, this is where I see Erik, and Erik moves continuously around in this area, and that's where the energy comes in. I've had people wondering, what am I looking at? And that's what I'm looking at is Erik. I can see his energy with my eyes. Like I can actually see the energy shift, and then I also see him mind's eye, but I don't see him physically like I see me and you see each other, but I can see him here. And he's always, no matter where I'm facing, he's always on this side of me. And so that's why I look that way. I just wanted to clear that up.
The mystery is solved.
And that's what I'm looking at. And sometimes I don't even have to like, I'll look at him, but I'm not always looking up there. It just depends on where I'm focusing. But okay, so back to Anton. He's wanting to clear something up, he says. There were a few questions about this. We talked a little tiny bit about it on the other two, or maybe just one of them. But something he says that he's wanting to clear up is that people are thinking like he had some kind of like last minute, I got to get this right, last minute words Last minute
Oh yeah, last
words.
words.
Yeah, and what he's saying is that there is a misunderstanding or it was misinterpreted what happened. So he's wanting to clear this up. He's talking about he did not have, and this is him talking, I did not have what one would call a come to Jesus moment. And he's doing the air quotes. And he says, what happened was that he kind of got scared, his body, like if you ever see like somebody having a heart attack or something where it's like you can see the fear in their face.
Yeah.
So he's showing me that moment and that it was like he wasn't sure what was going on. So right before he, like we talked about this before, he blacked out, started to black out. He was saying things like, and I'm gonna try to get like repeat exactly what he's saying. There's something wrong. He's going, there's something wrong. Something's not right. What do I do? Like he's talking to himself, like, and,
Yeah.
he's like wanting help. I need help. Something's wrong. And he's repeating these words. Now, I'm not sure what the conspiracy is, but he says there is something about this.
Yeah.
And,
There was something I
and
can remember.
so he's saying that he went right afterwards he blacked out and that was it. He wasn't like somebody who was laying on a deathbed
Mhm.
dying, he's
Right.
saying. It was like in that moment where he, blacked out and that was final.
Okay.
That was the end. Um he never came back. I think they did try to resuscitate him, but he's
Okay.
saying they didn't. He didn't come back. He wasn't talking. So,
Okay.
okay. Okay. My heart was really pounding like right before that because I could feel him and his anxious, like he felt like made me
Panicking.
feel anxious. Like,
Mhm.
and it's not that he's panicking, but I could feel that needed to be said. I don't know.
Okay.
That's the only way I can explain it. Um, so anyway, what you want to go with your questions so we can
Yeah,
go to
sure.
questions.
Questions from our wonderful community. All right, by all accounts, this is from a community member. Mr. LaVey was a charlatan who concocted the whole idea of the satanic church as a ploy to con people out of their money. Is that true, Anton?
He says no. It wasn't. That wasn't like, okay, I'm going to do this so I can get money out of people. He says no
Okay.
to that. This was more of a movement that he did believe in. He did believe in this movement.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah, yeah.
Just what was the purpose of the life you led as a satanic cult leader?
So he's saying the purpose of this, there were many things that he was trying to accomplish, but it was really about giving people, he felt that to show people they had their own like power they didn't have, like to look outward for it in a way, like to other gods,
Yeah.
because it really he didn't believe in God, which I still am trying to wrap my head around
Yeah.
this. Like if he didn't believe in anything, like why was there, something to like use as a symbol? But the way he shows it is this is something that hold on a second. Oh, he says this, so it gives you the complete opposite, like of the traditional, like the traditional religion.
Right.
So he went the complete opposite. And you know what else he's saying?
What?
He's talking about like doing he was always into sorcery type things. Like he
Okay.
always loved the power, like to show power within yourself. And this really was something that would do that, like show that you had these powers within yourself, the powerful you,
Well, you do.
yeah, yeah, but in the way he's with, yeah, he goes, in the way I went about it was it was beyond the normal human, if that makes sense. Like it was beyond your normal human
Yeah.
if you could reach deeper into this power, and he was always he liked to mesmerize people. That's the word he's using. He likes to mesmerize people. But yeah, he's saying that it was like self-preservation in a way, like
Okay.
self-preservation.
Well, do
So
you believe in God now? Or source
yeah,
or okay.
yes, does. He's actually met both, all.
Oh, well, of course.
He said both, all is how he put
So,
it.
what kind of contract did you come here to fulfill? I think we already discussed that, but just in
What
case
is it?
not, what kind of contract did you come here to fulfill?
Okay. One of the main things he says was to show people that they have free will, okay? That
Okay.
they have free will and choices, but there are consequences to your choices. He says that was a big one.
Okay.
Because it is your choice if you follow
Yeah,
different beliefs or
of course.
cults or, and I'm not, that's his word. I didn't call it a cult. He
Oh,
did.
yeah, right. Right.
And he's saying that a lot of people did learn about who they were
That's good.
inside, with this. Even if they didn't stay with it, they were more so learning when they left, because there were some
Uh-huh.
people that would be a part of it and then get away from it.
What was I thinking? All right.
Yeah.
How can one break the chains of Satan? I didn't know there were chains of Satan and keep them off and distanced and detached from Satan. Is that a thing, first of all, Erik? I mean, is that a problem?
So this is Eric saying this is a religious concept,
Yeah.
chains of Satan. And then Anton says that this again wasn't um, the real energy, the lower level energy,
Right.
Satan. This was a symbolic. But just like anything, we all have free will, we all have choices.
Yeah.
And it's not that something else is making you do it, because you have that choice. Every day when you get up in the morning, you can choose to say yes or no to something,
Yeah.
all day
Hey,
long.
you're dead to me. Adios, MF. Okay.
Right, right. You're right. It's you have the last say so, he just said. You have the last say.
Yeah.
And it's up to you whether you let something bind you or not, or hold on to you, he says.
Aren't we wonderful people? Aren't we just awesome? Think about it. We are so
Power.
vastly divine and powerful. It's great. The thing is to use it for good. All right. How easy is it to walk away from, well, we did this, Satanism once you've been deeply involved? Okay, we did that, free will, but are there any lasting repercussions on the body, mind, or soul?
He says, depending on how long you've been with it. Because the longer that you follow a routine, the longer that you follow something that is habitual, the longer it takes to undo those things, right? So it is possible too. Absolutely. Again, make the choice and do it.
Yeah.
But there are sometimes, like with some of the children, there was long lasting effects, he's
Yeah.
saying, on in their even his own children.
Yeah.
So, but again, you can reprogram the mind. It's like a computer.
Yeah.
Okay. And that was Erik. He says, your mind's like a computer. You can reprogram it to anything, to believe anything.
Yeah. And there's nothing
And
like
this affects,
you can think something for 17 seconds or so, whatever, every day. I can't remember what it was.
right. That kind of is like a manifesting thing too. But from what I've heard, and I know there's different timings out there, but at least I've heard 28 days to reprogram your mind.
Oh, that's right. I heard that. Yeah.
That's the average, though. There are some things that are deep implanted,
Yeah.
and sometimes you need help. Erik says, to have people help you,
Yeah.
redo it, because you don't know the steps, not because you can't do it.
Is that something an energy healer can help with?
Absolutely,
Awesome.
yes.
All right. What can you, Anton, do to rectify the wrong that might have been done? Of course, it was your contract to teach people about free will, but is it
It
necessary?
was, but it was also to put them in the path too. He's saying because of the type of things that they taught, with his religion. Yeah, it's their free will, and it was to teach them free will. But what he's saying is, um, it, What was the last part again, Elisa?
Can you
Last part.
rectify what you did?
Oh,
Can you help people
okay.
from the other side get out of the whole cult
Okay.
mentality or
Yeah,
something?
because he was showing me something. I wasn't sure what he was showing me. So I was like, what was that again?
Hmm.
Um, he's showing me that he actually does help people from this side.
Good.
He does help people try to now again, we can't like ever mess with somebody's journey that there's
Right.
things they're supposed to do or change anything, but there can be energies that are brought in a little bit to help support and help guide,
Okay.
and he does do that from the other side. He says, I was looking to see there's something like, okay, so he's showing kids, he's showing children, and he's showing me that he kind of helps with directing. He's showing like this, like
Okay.
directing in a way, but not like forcing
No,
against
you
their
can
free
only
will, but
nudge.
just kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, just kind of like directing. But he can't change what's already happened. All he
Yeah.
can do is move forward, is what he just said.
Okay. Okay. Is there really a Satan? We covered this. So you, at when you were in a human body, you thought it was just a symbol. Do you
Right.
now think that is an entity and a dark energy, commonly known as Satan?
He knows there is. Is that it's asking if he knows now, right?
Okay, right, right.
Yeah, is that what
Listen,
it's asking? He's saying it no. Go
okay.
ahead.
So it's
What?
not a manifestation from humans. It's just
No.
it really
No,
is. And it's
there is.
yeah.
Yeah, there's two like there's a spectrum, and then there's the lower level, lower vibrational, I think, Eric, lower vibrational energies. Something too that Eric is showing me is the Hollywood version, or the some of the religious versions of what a demon looks like or what Satan looks like, isn't really necessarily, that's not what it is. Now, there spirits can shapeshift and look
Sure.
different ways, of course, but it's only what's in your fears usually that they use. But we're energy. We're all energy.
Yeah.
We do have like a shape, but not like those features like they
Oh
show,
yeah.
and
Horns,
the,
fork tail,
yeah,
pitchfork.
yeah, yeah. It's mostly energy. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's still part of the light. There's nothing else but the
It's
light. It's just
all
the
part of it's all part of
lower
life.
spectrum of yeah.
It is.
When
It's all
Earth,
part of life and necessary. And necessary,
yeah,
he
of
said.
course. When Earth goes to the fifth dimension, will this eliminate evil for good? What a great question. Probably one for you, Eric.
Yeah, that is a great question. And Eric says that it's not going to eliminate evil for good. It's going to be, he shows me like vibrations, okay, frequencies.
Okay.
So we're at now on a frequency on this planet. When we go to the next frequency up, we will still have conflict and issues, okay, and there'll
Right.
still be those evil energies existing. They don't go away. They will have less access, is how he shows it,
Good.
but it'll still be like, it'll still be there, and it may have a little bit of access depending on the situation, but not like it does now.
We need to
Just like
change the
for
password every 30 days.
right, right. Yeah, that's a good one. Just like when people are working in the light and they're light workers, right?
Yeah.
Lower level entities don't really want anything to do with that. So it's where you're at in
Yeah.
your frequency. So
Okay.
our frequency will be higher.
Good. When your time on Earth was nearing the end, did you believe that you were going to hell to suffer, or did you try to pray to God for forgiveness? In other words, what were your expectations upon of passing?
He didn't believe in an afterlife.
Okay. Lights out. Uh,
Yeah, he's saying I didn't believe in an afterlife. He didn't believe that if he couldn't touch it or see it or feel it, he didn't believe in it. So no, he did think sometimes though about just going into nothing. Like that's kind of a
Yeah.
scary thought.
Ugh.
He would have, not all the time. He's like, I didn't sit and worry about that kind of thing, but there were thoughts once in a while that would pop up that,
Yeah.
he would think, well, we just disappear, he just would
Mm.
contemplate on it or think about it for a second but he didn't worry about it.
Actually, you skipped physics 101, didn't you? Okay, what did you see right as you were on your deathbed? Well, you weren't on deathbed, and and then what did you see after crossing over? Did anything?
He said good one, Elisa.
I can't remember
You
what I
said
said.
something about you said something about he didn't pay attention in to physics 101 because
Oh
the
yeah, right,
energy
right.
you can't take away. That was funny. He was laughing.
What? Jesus, the words for life.
Right.
I should be proud of that or not. Okay, thank you, Anton.
Okay, sorry. Now question was what
Oh,
what was the
sorry.
question?
What did you see like when you're about to die
Oh,
in your
got
body,
it.
and then when you crossed over?
So he shows me that when he left his body, he actually shows me him sitting up out of his body and then standing and just kind of turning and looking at himself because he was trying to like what's going on, like figure this
Awesome.
out,
Yeah,
right? Like he was surprised he's still
yeah,
existing.
yeah.
um then not too long, I mean, there's this time, when I say not too long, he's saying like not too long, but there's not time
Yeah.
really like ours. He shows a change, a switch, a darkness. He shows things going kind of fast, like it's almost like he's moving so fast that like we wouldn't move that fast here.
Okay.
And then he's in like this darkness, and he does, and I asked him earlier about this. I was asking him,
Uh-oh, freezing going on. Ugh.
oh, did we freeze out?
Yeah, we froze up, but it didn't say that internet on my. Anyway, it's okay.
Okay. All right.
So
So anyway, he was just saying it was just like a darkness, but not that healing darkness. It was just dark, and
not the
it was
blackness
movement,
that Erik
movement.
went through.
Right.
Okay.
Movement, movement, movement. And then he shows like he actually did meet Satan and some lower vibrational beings.
Oh,
Okay. He did see them. Now there wasn't any kind of here it goes, Hollywood stuff, where
yeah.
how they show it. He says, but it was something that was part. I think we talked about this before because I remember this. He's saying this was part of his contract.
Yeah.
Then he was stuck on the astral plane for a bit, and it took a while before he left that. And I'm getting like almost like our time would be a couple years,
Oh,
our
wow.
time,
Wow.
long time.
Yeah.
Um, and he says it would shift back and forth to a darkness, like darkness, and then the astral plane. But it was a lot of the astral plane just kind of stuck there.
Why is that, Erik?
It was part of his contract. He wanted this experience
Okay.
because it did bring a. Okay, he's showing me it brought him to a point where he actually was looking for something more, like because of the way his belief system was. This is based on his
Oh,
belief system too, on the planet. And he says this made him look for something more, and it was something that it was more of his belief system than anything that stuck him there.
okay.
Okay, so
Interesting.
it wasn't like he was forced to. Again, we have free will,
Yeah.
but it was almost like his belief system put him there. So then it shows like and this is interesting. I don't know if it was part of the question who he met, like when
Yeah.
he finally crossed
Right.
over,
Well, that was the next
because
question, actually.
okay, because he was getting ready, he was telling me next that his mom, he's seen his mother, he starts seeing like these light beings coming towards him. It was his mother and Jesus were the first two people that he met.
Wow.
And
Except for
I think
Satan, right?
I'm getting like chills everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? What'd you say?
Except for Satan, you met him on Satan
That
was
was, yeah,
lower.
that was right after he passed.
All
Yes,
right,
that
got
was
it,
right
got it,
after
got it.
he passed. Yeah. And then when he crossed over like to the spirit plane,
I got you.
um, yeah, it was his mom and then Jesus. And there's a reason he has past life connections to Jesus.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so we'll get into that. But so what was that like? Well, first of all, what was it like when you met Satan, who was also called Lucifer, because that's in this question. What was it? What did y'all do? What did y'all talk about? How the hanging? What happened?
Right. No, it was more of a teaching. That's interesting.
Hmm.
He's showing me like when you cross over, no matter who you come in contact with, okay, other spirits on the spirit plane or lower vibrational beings, is what he keeps calling them. Um, you have like a learn like knowledge, like you don't talk, you don't sit there and talk and visit. There's
Oh
like a
yeah.
knowledge giving, like he gave him knowledge of who
Upload, like an upload
was,
of information.
an upload of who he really was, what
Mhm.
the story was behind Satan's story. And it was mostly because this again was something that was part of his contract
Yeah.
before that he was going to do this.
He found
Um,
that out too, I guess, in that meeting, right? Did he? He discovered that it was a
yes,
contract. Okay, okay,
yes,
okay.
yes. And that was part of his life review too. Um, so it was almost like a download of knowledge of the spectrum of energy, the vibrations
Yeah.
of beings, and who, they were on that end, if you want to look at it that way, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And maybe the refresher course in Physics 101, energy is neither created nor destroyed.
That was right away. He
I
said that
bet,
was
yeah.
right away when he left his body and he was trying to figure out what was going on. So he did get, he's showing me too, Elisa, that when he was in the astral plane, that he was getting little downloads, like, almost like we have spirits that talk to us when we're here.
Yeah.
He was getting things like that, but he knew that it was coming from like spirit,
Hmm.
so
Cool. All right. One
yeah.
more question before we pause for part two. So hit
Oh
the
wow,
notification bell.
4 parts.
Yeah. And look, yeah, I know. You're very popular, Anton. But y'all first hit the like button and subscribe,
Please,
please. All right, so
please.
here's the deal. What was it like meeting Jesus and your mom? There was a come to Jesus moment there.
He said it was a relief actually because
Hmm.
it was a relieving feeling, like a relief of moving forward. There was more than just what his existence had been for so long after he passed. That there was more to it. It was a relief and it was an excitement. He says he felt like a child, like a little child.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's saying he felt very humbled, very childlike is how he's explaining it.
Did you feel the
Yeah.
love?
Yes, yeah. That's what made him feel humbled, was that
Yeah.
love that he's saying it's beyond like our words. Like there's not enough words in our vocabulary, and it's not just me, Eric's teasing me. It's not just me losing my words. We don't have them. I
No,
couldn't find
just
I
yeah, just
wanted
no
to.
words.
Losing my words.
All right, thank you guys. Be sure you watch part one and part two if you missed it. This is part three. We're gonna head on out to part four. Thank you, and check out Ginger Bailey down below and on the screen. Bye.
Bye.
Anton, hang tight. Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, Eric.
Love you.
Love you. Okay, start.